14 is going to be a good one. We're going to have fun with it, but we're going to keep it gutter all the way real. 101. Law 14 of the 48 laws of powers. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Let's elaborate on that a little bit. Let's see how Robert Greene elaborates on that a little bit. First and foremost, the law suggests that gathering information through spying is essential to wielding power, and that it's better to be a spy yourself than to enlist others to do it. By adopting a friendly manner, you can get people to reveal their plans and weaknesses, which can make you seem all-powerful and give you an advantage. Let's look at it. Let's rock out. Law 14 of the 48 laws of power through the lens of truth. Listening to Robert Greene and following the 48 laws of power, we're going to be fake. Fake as hell before we know it. A total misrepresentation of our heavenly identification. A complete fabrication. Here we are being enlisted to approach those in front of us as though we were friends, as though our motives were pure, as though we were extensions of love and we know it, and we're operating as the resource that we were designed to be. But Robert Greene and the 48 laws of power does not stop there. We are told to approach them in the form that truth told us to operate with them as, and then watch the hook. We get close enough to see their weaknesses and their deficiencies, and we get enough rapport with them established that they feel comfortable telling us things that they withhold from other people inside of the competition of comparison. And then once we have them vulnerable, once we've used selective honesty and we've gifted them with things that we extended out of the strategic game that we're playing, and we have them vulnerable and we've spied, we use their weaknesses to our advantage so that we can appear to be one who yields all power. And I just wonder, why do you care so much to be an expression of all power to those who are still wandering in the darkness and ignorant? You know you don't operate as the extension, as the resource, freely giving of yourself all that is within you. You know that that's not you on a daily basis. But you like to pretend like it is. When somebody says something contrary to your presentation that is who you are and how you operate, you defend yourself and you list every good thing you've ever done, snatching the value and revealing to you and to whoever you were talking to that when you extended such things in the past, they were not gifts, they were nothing but silent bargains designed to elevate your status and reputation. Pose as a friend. You know, we pose for pictures. Pose as a friend. Present or constitute. Assume a particular attitude or position in order to be photographed, painted, or drawn. You are always posing to be many things so that the people who are drawing conclusions of you will come out with a portrait that is a reflection of the way you've always wanted people to see you. When people see you based on what you extend and the truth of your actions and your words, you get angry and upset and say somebody is judging you. No, they are holding you accountable, sweetheart. No, they are recalling to you the things that you spewed out of emotionalism and probably don't even remember thoroughly. And even if you do recall them as well as the person who received it, you only can talk about what it was like in that moment to extend such dysfunction. You need to be quiet if that person would like the floor, so that you can be educated in what it is like in those moments to be on the receiving end of the backlash and the reactionary explosion of your emotions when you come in contact with something that you don't want or don't like or don't approve of. Pose as a friend but work as a spy. You already have a work to be done. You already have a path to be pursued. You already have a journey ahead of you to return back to original form, to get back in the awareness of love, to knock down all the barriers of love and goodness and kindness that you have cultivated over the years as you partner with illusionary presentations from illusionary partners inside of an illusionary experience ran by egos. You've gone into the chatter of the legion of voices and tried to draw out value because you've been so far away from the whisper that you cannot comprehend or even begin to process what is being deposited in you on a divine level. You lean back to the physical because that is where you're comfortable, that is where you're familiar, that is what you fed, that is where you have made your heaven, that is what you've made your home. When earth was but an experience for you and I, when earth was a place that was designed for you and I to cause to look like home, not for us to allow to make us look like it. You know, it's become such a cliche, but scripture points out that you are in this world, but not of this world. You belong to another world. You belong to a higher entity. This is the thing about living by the divisive mechanism known as your brain, where you go in and can calculate and lean to your own understanding about the things that you encounter and what is best for you and what is most advantageous and what is the approach that will be most beneficial in any given moment. The reason that it makes no sense to live by the laws and the divisive nature that you have grown accustomed to is because we are on law 14 and we are being told in law 14 to pose as a friend but operate as a spy. But don't send nobody else. Law 14 explicitly tells us that it is always best if we go play spy ourselves, if we go and manipulate and deceive those who we are under the impression can provide for us in unconventional and unorthodox and unapproved ways, as we steal what we want from them by manipulating them and getting them to feel like we are friends that they can extend their goodness to and it be reciprocated, as we're not there to extend goodness. We are only posing to be there to extend goodness, as we are really there to take. And you really should stop thinking that the universe is going to operate in accordance with you as you operate in a way that is contrary to the way it was designed. You really should stop thinking that Source is going to bless you in a way that subtracts from another. Source don't need to steal nothing from nobody to gift you with anything. All things were already given to you by the Source that you pray to and hope approves you for food stamps, so that those in a higher tax bracket can have money taken out of their check to pay for your ignorance of the fact that abundance flows through you and money is attracted to you if you get out of the way and remove the barriers to the magnet that you were designed to be to goodness. Understand, you have to learn to probe and find valuable information. You have to ask indirect questions. Every occasion is a chance to spy. You have to keep a watchful eye. You cannot have your mind and your attention on the things above and be operating as a spy in those who are around you, reflecting your own behavior. If you ever want to know anything about these people, what their motives are, can be, how wicked they can be, how good they can be, just look at yourself. because they are but an extension of you. They are but a reflection of you. They are but another created by the same source, sustained by the same source, inside of the same universal experience that befalls on all human beings in the awakening back to truth. You don't have to play spy. You don't have to try to figure these people out. In those situations where you would have told a lie, they will too. In those situations where you're being truthful and you're known to be more honest, when you get it in your head or get it in your heart, not from the suspicious seat that you have sat in prior to coming into truth, but in the forgiving of all that was prior done to you, in the living in the present moment and the now, there is always an escape door when somebody is playing a manipulative trick on you. There is the truth inside of you that does not partner and does not resonate with the presentation being given to you. You learn to follow that whisper, not follow your feelings, not follow your suspicions, not follow your trauma, not follow your past, not follow the legion of voices. Understand, y'all be playing games like this with genuine people. And because you practice this form of broken communication, when you find yourself in front of those who have become aware that they embody a light that allows for them to operate in truth always, and there is no need ever to deceive anyone. These people tell you the truth and you can't even believe it. You question it, you challenge it, you disrespect their character by thinking that they are like you and like those in your past that you have attached yourself to and still not let go of. Y'all be talking about ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-husband, ex-wife. If they were really your ex, you wouldn't still be partnering with them in such a way. If they were really your ex, the dysfunction from the relationship that you tried to leave and get away from wouldn't have followed you into the next pursuit of possessing a person that you now experience. You wouldn't have the same gripes and complaints. You wouldn't have walked in playing the comparison game, trying to make sure that this person was a step up than the last person and not a setback. Understand, you came in with the wrong eye. You came in playing judge. You came in critiquing. You did not come in being and expressing and extending love, but yet you wanted all of those things done for you. You didn't want to be critiqued. You didn't want to be judged. You didn't feel that it was necessary to be watching every move that you make to ensure that you had the other person's best interests at heart. You trust your goodness. Why is it so hard for you to trust theirs? Because you know how conditional your goodness can be, maybe. Because you know how frail your goodness can be, maybe. Because you know you have multiple presentations, maybe. Because you know that you really think being good is a choice, and there are so many other presentations that are less suitable for the people that you partner with, that you are afraid to connect with people, thinking that people just may do you how you do people. People that are experienced with people pick up on this presentation. People, all people, can feel your energy. Now, many people are so busy and so distracted and so suspicious and so assumptuous that they think that they know how a person feels already, so they find it very hard to use the God-given senses that they were programmed with. But once you have removed your partnership with the ego, your intuition can flow. Your connection with all things allows for you to sense when something is off. And this is the reason why people who have very dishonest presentations choose very, very particularly who they place themselves in front of, because they first sit back and do the research and make sure that this person is one that will fall subjectable or should fall subjectable to their tricks and ploys. But the thing about the trickster never takes into account, or rarely takes into the account, that they may not be the only one running a play. That's why you shouldn't run plays, because then you don't have to worry about being the one looking like an idiot for being discovered running a play, and then you got to try to backpedal out of it and defend yourself and lie and say that you are not doing what you are clearly doing Now you not only make yourself look silly, you fall back into being directly dishonest, lying, being delusional, because as you make the presentation that you're not being a spy and you have been being a friend, and your friend is just being overprotective and is accusing you of doing things that you are not doing, now you're just lying. Lying to them, lying to yourself, and you're lying so adamantly and so caught up in this moment and inside of your emotional reaction to being discovered running a ploy that you actually start to believe the things that are coming out of your mouth about your genuineness and your generosity and your camaraderie. When you knew in the beginning, before this person ever discovered you, to be one who was trying to spy, pull information, and use it against them for the betterment of their own cause, that you were only here for your own selfish reasons, that you only partnered with this person because you saw some type of value for yourself, because you saw some type of elevation for you. You knew that. And now you're going to sit here because this person then put the spotlight on your dysfunctional ways that they recognize from their own dysfunctional past and connection and partnership with their ego. Now you want to get mad. Don't get mad. Now you ran the play. You can only choose your offensive set. You do not get the liberty of going and telling the defense what play to run. It's the defense job to stop the offense attack downfield. So when you want to play the game of comparison and competition, don't be surprised when you run into people who are willing to resist your push. Your push is a push for you, but your push is also a push against them. They are trying to accomplish something too. The defense wants to win the game just as bad as the offense. So you got to stop thinking that you can outsmart everybody. You got to stop thinking that you can go and be so cunning and so charming and so believably influential and such a good actor that you won't be discovered. And even if you are discovered, I mean, you can just defend, deflect, and lie, right? You're not tired of that cycle? You gotta be tired of that cycle, because we've been doing that since we were in grade school. You don't have to spy on people. Most of the stuff that you desire to know about them, you do not need to know at all. And actually, the unnecessary information that we funnel into our subconscious by probing in other people's lives becomes the very toxic ingredients that our subconscious uses to conjure up and manifest the circumstances and situations that we never wanted for ourselves in the first place. But because we don't understand how our attention works, because we don't understand the power of the human attention, because we don't understand the location of the Garden of Eden that we were given to tend and keep, because you don't understand your role as the farmer, you've came up with all kind of theories as to how you end up in the situations that you end up in. But I'm telling you, your attention is so powerful that if you stop giving it to the people and things that you desire not to have, and you stop giving your attention to the desire of not having it, there's absolutely 0% chance that it could flow to you and will flow to you. You will never experience anything that you don't give your attention to. So all of these stories of drama, trauma, and pain that you entertain on this phone, it's just for no other reason than you're bored and you're scrolling, and we have a deep connection with drama and dysfunction. And the pain and suffering that you take in from listening to other people tell you how bad their life has gotten in their absence of awareness of truth and love and their connection with the two. It leads to your suffering. It leads to your partnership with illusions. You are designed to pull them out of the darkness. You have been equipped with a light You walk in a room and darkness must flee. You've never seen darkness win the battle of a light switch. You've never seen the light switch defeated. So why is it that every time you get around somebody who's still stuck in a delusionary state, partnering with dysfunction and illusions and listening to the legion of voices, giving you their sob story, you and your heart, your emotions start to go out to that person. You start to operate by the social standards set by the divisive, divisive, and dark-minded individuals who did not operate in accordance with truth and light. And you start to play the role of a good friend, a good brother, a good mom, a good dad. And you withhold from these people the truth, and you withhold from them something even greater. You stop seeing the truth of them. You start to see them and see their problem as they see it, and all you're doing is intensifying the situation for them. But let you tell it and let them tell it as y'all are hugging and crying and talking about how the pain runs deep between the two of you and how much you can relate. Let y'all tell it you're being there for them. Let y'all tell it that's the best thing you could ask for in that moment. But it's not. It's the worst thing that you could ask for. It's the worst thing that you can have, because it keeps you locked inside of the illusion that what you are struggling and wrestling with is real. And it's not. Because only what is good was created and is sustained by the good creator. So if it's evil, if it lacks the presence of good, then it is an illusion that originated from your partnership with illusions. Understand, the system is not broken. The universe flows the same for all of us. But how many of us can honestly say that we have took the time to study the way the universe works, and we've taken the time to study the way that we operate in accordance with the universe, so that we can move in a way that is productive and in alignment with our design and the place that we were put to carry out the very purpose of being an extension of love. And that's it. You done fell out with some people over this very law right here. You done fell out with some people because you found out over the course of time, as you partner with them, you found out that they were not there for genuine reasons. They did not have your best interests at heart. They were only there because they saw you as somebody who was a threat. They saw you as somebody they needed to keep close so that they can keep an eye on. They came and they posed as a friend, but they operated as a spy. And they even had the nerve to come and do it themselves. Nah. Truth is the only way suitable for God's creations. Truth is the only way. All other ways lead to destruction. All other ways lead in circles going nowhere. You should be so tired of going around and around and around that mountain, when all you had to do was make one journey across one body of water. All you had to do is discover that what was swallowing you whole and drowning you, you were designed to effortlessly walk on top of. See, the most dangerous thing about being flawed and about having fake presentations is when it's time to be real, you struggle with it. You find in times when it's time to be real, all you know how to do is pretend to be real, like you've been doing. That's why you shouldn't create such terrible habits. Get in the practice of being truthful. Get in the practice of being honest. People say brutally honest. There is nothing brutal about being real to what you mean. You don't have to be disrespectful to be honest. You don't have to be hurtful. The truth doesn't hurt. Sometimes it hurts to realize that the illusions that we've been partnering with are untrue. But that's always for our good anyway. When that person that you thought loves you lets it be known that they have absolutely no desire to be affectionate and careful with you, that's a release from something that you did not even want to partner with in the first place, but you took it so offensively because it went against the narrative that you had developed about where you and that person were going. It shattered your world because you had learned to identify yourself with this person in some type of way. You shouldn't do that. You should remember, there's absolutely no reason for you to be fake, no reason for you to pretend. You are never served in telling a lie. You are always benefited by presenting the truth that is and always will be. Lock in.